from Babla Jonathan, and this is the 6 p.m. primetime newscast over Equinoxe television. In our top stories, the road network in Limbe in the southwest region of Cameroon is falling into disrepair, leaving motorists and residents to navigate pothole-ridden streets and one of the country's most dangerous highways as accidents persist on the deteriorating Mutenkene-Edina road. Concerns are mounting over road safety and the maintenance of Cameroon's transport infrastructure. Another accident at the Mayo Pala causeway in the far north region of Cameroon has renewed fears over one of the country's deadliest river crossings. The latest truck overturn has intensified calls for urgent government action to prevent more tragedies and protect road users. And out of the country, Senegal has officially declared its support for former President Macky Sall's bid to become the next United Nations Secretary General. This marks a dramatic policy shift. Those are top stories. Two persons have died in disturbing circumstances in Bonabiri in the Douala subdivision. One of the victims was stabbed to death by a young man, and this occurred earlier today. That was during a dispute, and the cause of the dispute remains unclear as of now. And the second victim was killed by an angry mob that executed jungle justice on him for killing the first victim. Fresh concerns have been raised over the safety of the Mayo Pala low water crossing in the Ndian division in the far north region of Cameroon, in the far north region of the country. Of course, after yet another accident on the notorious crossway, a truck transporting goods overturned on the bridge yesterday, once again highlighting the dangers of a crossing that has claimed lives and continues to endanger road users. For me, Armstrong Sander reports.
The heavy-duty vehicle and its trailer overturned around 1 a.m. on the Mayo Pala bridge, also known as the Mayo Pala, in the Ndian division of the far north region of Cameroon. Thankfully, the worst was avoided. The truck's cabin remained outside the river beds of the Mayo River, sparing both the driver and the public from what could have been seen as a tragic outcome. Alerted to the situation, the senior divisional officer for the Ndian division, Jean-Marc Ekwambarga, accompanied by the mayor of the city of Marwa, Dr. Saliba Bani, rushed to the scene to assess the damage. I call on the local population to avoid low water crossing by every means, especially during the rainy season. This is very important because sometimes the water current intensifies with volumes higher even when it's raining outside Marwa, especially in places like Mukulu. That is the key message I have for the population. On site, the administrative authority gave firm instructions to speed up operations and ensure the road is cleared for traffic as quickly as possible. We immediately reported to the SDO following the incident, and he has ordered for quick temporary measures. That is exactly what we will do to avoid a repeat of a similar incident. I add my voice to that of the SDO to call out against low water crossing, especially during the rainy seasons. The goods being transported were saved by a narrow margin. They are currently being secured while waiting for the evacuation of the truck, reports say. Once again, the Mayo Pala bridge, notorious for several accidents and loss of lives in the past, is bringing back painful memories. It is a fresh reminder of the urgent need for a lasting solution to make this route safer for local inhabitants of the Ndian division and the rest of the far north region of Cameroon.
Efforts are intensifying to restore full navigation in the access channel to the port of Douala Bonabiri following the July 12, 2026 collision between the Black Rhino and Sea Honor vessels, with the stranded ship still obstructing one of Central Africa's most strategic maritime corridors. The Minister of Transport of the Republic of Cameroon, Jean-Ernest Massinangale Bibehe, has ordered a strict timetable for its refloating to safeguard a trade route that handles more than 350 billion francs CFA in annual transit traffic for Chad and the Central African Republic. Cedric Chakuto was there and now tells us more.
More than a week after the collision between two ships in the access channel to the port of Douala Bonabiri, the Minister of Transport, accompanied by local authorities, visited the site to personally assess the extent of the damage and the ongoing disruptions. The incident, which occurred on July 12th, involved the MV Honor and the MV Black Rhino, resulting in the immobilization of nearly 150 containers at sea.
L'armateur du MV Black Rhino est tenu de transmettre.
While the MVC Honor was successfully towed to buoy number 9, where it is ongoing urgent repairs under daily supervision, the MV Black Rhino, which was entering the port, remained partially submerged, exhibiting a pronounced lace that compromises the stability of its container cargo.
PNI Club, Société de sauvetage, Société de classification, Délégation régionale des transports du littoral et circonscription maritime du littoral.
Fortunately, no dirt or injuries were reported. A maritime safety investigation was immediately launched in accordance with the provisions of the Marine Code and international standards. The minister, however, emphasized that it would be premature at this stage to draw conclusions or assign blame pending the full results of the investigation. Operationally, the collision resulted in a temporary obstruction of the shipping channel, which was quickly resolved thanks to the establishment of a technical crisis unit and the deployment of significant maritime resources to secure the area and restore maritime traffic.
Maintenir un dispositif permanent de sécurité maritime autour du site. La zone devra demeurer entièrement sécurisée au moyen d'un balisage approprié.
During this ministerial address on July 20th, Ernest Gale Bibehe also outlined a series of measures aimed at strengthening prevention and avoiding similar incidents in the future.
D'éviter tout nouvel incident et de garantir la sécurité des opérations de sauvetage.
The geopolitical context of transport in Central Africa, the Douala Bonabiri Channel, is a vital artery for Cameroon's foreign trade as well as for the hinterland countries of the Central African Republic and Chad. Any incident occurring in this strategic area, therefore, goes beyond the simple framework of a maritime incident to directly affect national and regional economic security.
Thank you, Cedric Chakucho, for those updates on the situation at the Douala Seaport. Road users in Limbe, in the southwest region of the country, are facing growing frustration as deteriorating roads continue to disrupt movement and threaten public safety, with city streets increasingly scarred by potholes and the Mutengene-Idinao highway remaining in a deplorable state despite years of complaints and repeated accidents. Concerns are mounting over the country's road infrastructure and maintenance. Rex Afon from Boya now paints the picture of the state of roads in Limbe.
Driving through some parts of Limbe can be as bumpy as traveling on a rural farm-to-market road.
We are really suffering. Concerning the road, it's too bad. It's bad. From my fort to half mile to Batoke, there's no way.
You see, half mile, Bota engineering, that other line like that. Everywhere is pothole. So we have a good road to Limbe.
For years, calls for the rehabilitation of these roads appear to have fallen on deaf ears, just as appeals for the reconstruction of the Bekoko-Idinao highway have.
Other road rehabilitation projects will be launched in 2025, including the Bekoko, Limbe, Idinao, and the Mutengene-Boya sections.
Though the head of state made this promise on December 31st, 2024, a significant portion of the road remains riddled with potholes.
In terms of the nature of the road, my brother, I have a very bad road. Where you go through my 16 now, from my 16 to Munya, is hell. Then from Munya to Kupa, it's not easy. Too much of potholes. When you want to do repairs, they don't do good repairs. You can imagine they will take a highway road, begin to put that cement. Is that the work road?
The other day, one car dodged at my 8 Monday, one Prado hit our boss because of roads. The Prado dodged a hole because of road. And unfortunately, the driver was so vigilant. He tried to dodge, but the accident was bad, but no bad injury.
Eden Mark is about to travel from Limbe to Kumba. The only thing on her mind is the condition of the road she must endure.
I don't even like traveling because of the road. Anytime I think of traveling, I feel bad because of the potholes, especially at the Ombe roads. Yes. When I was coming back, one time I went to Pengene, one car had an accident just because of potholes. The cars were trying to dodge the potholes here. So I personally feel that traveling is not convenient.
The stretch from Limbe to Idinau, particularly the section passing through Sonara, represents the worst segment of the highway for road users.
Look at Limbe, Sonara town. That's what has a good road, but we don't have any road here.
Furthermore, the road continues to deteriorate with each passing day.
This is the evidence that this road still awaits construction or rehabilitation or repairs, because this bridge behind me has caused several damages. As you can see right behind me also, these are children who are coming back from school. A vehicle may want to dodge a pothole here and hit one of these children.
These pupils are exposed to this danger every day, despite a promise made about 18 months ago to spare them from its consequences.
We stay in the southwest regional coastal city of Limbe, where tensions flared as a crisis meeting over the management of the Parents National Education Union Primary School ended in a deadlock. Negotiations between the school's management board and a court-appointed commission broke down amid allegations of financial mismanagement, leaving parents anxious less than 2 months to the new academic year. Jikan Gabriel has greater details.
Tension ran high in Limbe as a crisis meeting at the Parents National Education Union (PNEU) ended in trouble. The meeting was meant to find peace between the school's management board and a temporary commission set up by court decision. Instead, both sides clashed openly. Some parents accused the current executive of embezzling school funds, saying the institution is now in the red. The head of the current executive team strongly denied the allegations.
The parents and the General Assembly of PNU here seated has never recognized any meeting, neither any decision of that meeting. If parents are standing and contesting,
the session was chaired by the representative of the Paramount Chief of Limbe, with representatives of the CDC hierarchy also in attendance. Both leaders called on parents to find a common ground.
The key message now is for the parents to be objective. We realize that there is a lot of parents that do not even understand why they are here, just because of supporting.
We are not happy, and we came to make the points. And if it continues, as I earlier said, we're going to take a decision on whether they should continue on our property or not.
But with just few weeks to go before the 2026-2027 academic year begins, fear is growing among PNEU parents who had hoped for a solution.
I was not happy the way the meeting went because there was some bias. When we asked for voting, they never counted the people who wanted the current executive to continue their mandates. I'm just praying that the authority to see what they can do.
My very concern about this crisis is our focus should be on the welfare of the children, because presently we are 6 weeks away from school. We don't have funds, no registration. Registrations are still to begin. We realize that there is a very serious problem with the structure. The infrastructure, the school was poorly done, and a whole section of the building could collapse.
The meeting was adjourned without a resolution. The next session will now be chaired by the divisional officer of Limbe 1 subdivision. For now, uncertainty still hangs over the Parents National Education Union Primary School as parents await for answers.
Now out of Cameroon, Senegal has officially thrown its support behind former President Macky Sall's bid to become the next United Nations Secretary General, marking a dramatic policy shift. The announcement comes just days after Sall met President Bassirou Diomaye Faye during his first visit to Dakar since leaving office in 2024. Until now, Faye's government had refused to endorse Sall, accusing his administration of political repression and concealing economic data during his final years in power. Those allegations remain a source of deep political division. Despite that history, the foreign ministry of the country says President Faye has instructed Senegal's diplomatic missions worldwide to campaign for Sall's candidacy, calling it a bid that serves both Senegal and Africa. Sall was nominated earlier this year by Burundi, the current African Union chair. However, his return to Dakar also reignited criticism from opponents seeking accountability for the deadly unrest that marked his final years in office. Now in sports, the 2026 FIFA World Cup has marked a historic milestone for African football. A record 10 African nations qualified for the tournament. 9 advanced to the knockout stage of the competition, while Morocco once again reached the quarterfinals. Egypt returned to the round of at the round of 16, and Cape Verde captured global attention with a remarkable campaign, underscoring Africa's growing influence on the world stage. Now, this is the smart side of the 2026 World Cup.
2026 FIFA World Cup will be remembered as a historic breakthrough for African football. For the first time, the tournament expanded to 48 teams, and Africa had its biggest presence yet, with a record 10 nations representing the continent. And Africa delivered. 9 of those 10 teams advanced past the group stage, a new continental record and the strongest World Cup campaign in African history. Morocco once again led the way. The Atlas Lions reached the quarterfinals before falling to France. It's the second straight World Cup where Morocco is Africa's top performer, and the run has pushed them to their highest ever FIFA ranking. They were first two. Egypt made a strong return and reached the round of 16. And Cabo Verde, the Blue Sharks, stunned the world by making the knockout stage in just one of their best international performances ever, including a clean sheet against the eventual champions and a fierce battle against defending champions Argentina in the round of 32. While no African team reached the semi-finals, the continent showed real progress, better tactical discipline, and the ability to compete with Europe and South America's elite. The challenges remain: squad depth, costly mistakes in knockout games, and finishing against top defenses. But the message from 2026 is clear. With 10 teams and a record number in the knockouts, African football has arrived, and the belief is growing that a World Cup title for Africa is no longer a dream, but a matter of time.
And that's it for the first part of this newscast. Stay with us for Talking Point coming up next. Our guest today, Honorable NJUME Peter AMBANG, member of Cameroon's lower house of parliament representing the Ndian division, joins us from the nation's capital, Yaoundé. Honorable, welcome to the program. Recently, you took the Minister of Public Works to task at the National Assembly over the bad state of roads going to or running across the Ndian division in the southwest region of the country. How bad is the situation of roads leading to and within the Ndian division?
The people of the Ndian division have suffered for a very, very long time. A very long time because of the states of the road from Kumba to Mondemba. It is not new. It is an old wound, which is known by almost everybody except for those who don't want to know. And it is also known by the minister that the road from Kumba to Mondemba, the divisional headquarters, is bad. The people have been suffering for a very long time. I can say we are to a certain extent blessed because we use the maritime transport. Living from Edinau to Ekondotiti to Mondemba to Bamuso, Widabato, Kombo Itide, Sangale, Kombo Abedimo. But maritime transport is very expensive, very expensive. And that is what the people of Ndian have been passing through. Even if you want to pass by road, when it is manageable, it is not easy. For now, leaving Mondemba to Ekondotiti is a nightmare. In fact, trees have covered the whole road. It is only by bike that you can leave Ekondotiti, the commercial headquarters of Ndian division, to the administrative divisional headquarters of Ndian division Mondemba. It's by bike. You can see how terrible it is. And living by bike or taking bike is another nightmare. You understand that you have to be ready to fall on the road several times before reaching your destination. And even as we are talking, even though the Ekondotiti Kumba Road is under construction, a big or large area of the road is still very, very bad, and the people are still not having it easy. You either take a bike or you use this Equinoxe. So it is not an easy thing. Not to talk of the roads at the subdivisional levels. Take Mondemba to Toko is hell. To reach the Gwenbanwe is a nightmare.
So, Honorable, you are the representative of the people, and I want to hear the voices of the people through your voice. You've been communicating with them. You've been talking with the people of the Ndian division. What are they telling you about the situation?
The people don't need to tell me. I live the situation. I live it. So they don't need to tell me. I live it, and that is why, because I live it, because I see it, because I'm part of the situation, that is why I know exactly what we are passing, not the people, what we, I inclusive, what we are passing through. Yes, because I'm not different from the people. I'm part of that community that is suffering, the people of Ndian division. So what they are telling me is just what I know. And the same thing that I'm also telling them. All of us, we are carrying the cross, all of us together. And that is why I think that since they cannot talk, since they cannot leave Ndian division to come here and talk, I am their mouthpiece. I'm their mouthpiece. That is why I'm able to meet the minister. I know where to meet him, only in the National Assembly. I cannot meet him in his office. I can't meet him in his office because it will be like a kind of, I don't know how to put it, a private talk. It's not a private issue. This is something that has to be known by the people. It has to be known by the Cameroonian people that Ndian division has been isolated in terms of road construction. And that is why I had to meet the Minister, National Assembly, and to ask him this question for everybody to know.
Right. So when I asked about what the people have been telling you, I wanted to feel what they are feeling. their pains, their opinions, their perspective, their perception of the whole situation? Are they disappointed with elite like you, the government? Have they given up, or they are still hoping for better days ahead?
They can't give up. They can't give up. They are disgusted. They can't give up. They understand that roads are a major issue. They understand that roads are very important when it comes to the development. They understand that the government understands that the people of Ndian are suffering, and they know that the head of state had already awarded this road on contract. They know.
So what has happened? Why has the contract not been executed till now?
This road was awarded. The head of state himself signed, in fact, gave instructions that that road must be constructed. I have the document. And this road was awarded to a Tunisian company, road construction company called Surubat. This company was already engaged. They brought new equipments. New equipments. And they were already engaged in the construction. Unfortunately, because of this crisis, the engineer was murdered, and some of them kidnapped and ransom taken. And because of that, they tried to wait for some time, thinking that maybe things gonna be all right for them to continue, but things weren't all right. So they left. This company left. And when the company left, it was so difficult for another company to come in. The head of state wanted another company to come in to take over, but companies were afraid. And that is why the head of state handed now the construction of this road by Equinoxe to the B, that is the military, that they will be able to confront those guys while the work is going on. So the road is now under the hands of the B, not really the military engineering corps of the military, like Uni Militaire, but B. And so they are the ones who have been working there all this while. And the truth is that it has not been easy with them because of insecurity. But for the past few years, I can say, the security situation has dropped drastically, and now we can say that there is security. And so they are moving on. But what is the major problem now is that of liquidity. That of liquidity. The liquidity is not flowing the way it's supposed to flow. The money is not coming in. And so they are working it at snail pace according to the means given to them. That is what the problem is. They took over this construction. It has been for about 3 years now. But even then, the road has not reached even halfway gone. So that is where the problem is. They are there now, as we are talking, they are there now. But the means, the financial means, are not giving them the possibility to move as fast as they wanted to.
All right, so Honorable.
But the one from...
So in your reading of the situation, what could possibly be delaying the disbursement of money for the construction of the Kumba Mundemba Road?
I'm sorry to tell you this, and that is why I asked the minister directly. Why has he decided to isolate Ndian division in his program of road construction? Why has he decided to do that? Meanwhile, works are being carried out in other areas. I ask him, why has he decided to do that? And to be very honest with you, he could not give me the answer that any rightful person will give on such a question. What he said was responding was that he has given the mayors of Ndian division more than 1 billion francs, and that, and that they even gave you a letter of congratulations. Come on, Mr. Minister. I'm not talking about the money you give to mayors. I'm talking about putting this road into the national budget such that this road will be constructed. I'm seeing other roads which are not, I'm sorry to say this, roads which are not even as compared to what is Ndian division to this nation. Why? So to me, it's simple. The minister seemed to be negligent about the roads in Ndian division. That's all I can say. And I don't know why. If you ask me why, I don't have the answer. He will better be placed to give the answer. And so when he gave this answer, which he gave, I understood simply that he had no answer to my question. And why he could not answer to my question, he alone is able to tell Cameroonians. He alone is able to tell the people of Ndian division. That's all I can say, Mr. Babila. I don't know why. I don't know why.
The Minister of Public Works will be ready to answer questions as per the allegations that the Honorable Member of Parliament is making about his alleged negligence with regards to the Kumba-Mundemba Road and the road network, generally speaking, in the Ndian division, why the road is still incomplete as of now, notably the Kumba-Mundemba Road. However, we hope that the story will be different tomorrow. We hope the story will be different in the nearest future, Honorable.
That's right. No, I personally have hope, and I'm telling the people of Ndian division to keep having hope, because I remember very, very well, this is the same discussion I was having with George Ewane during inside the presidency when I was talking about the roads. And when Father, the head of state, gave his accord for the construction of the Kumba-Equinoxe Road, Mr. George Ewane met me again on the same program inside the presidency. I said, Honorable NJUME Peter, what now do you say now that the head of state has given a call on the construction of the Kumba-Equinoxe Road? And of course, that road could have reached Moniba by now. Why not Aqua? And I told him simply that the people of Ndian are telling Mr. President, we are grateful, we are grateful, we are grateful, and may God bless you. And so I strongly believe that the answer will be different tomorrow. I don't doubt it. The answer will be different tomorrow. We are very hopeful. Because what I know is that, come all what may, that road will be constructed. That road must be constructed. Yes, that is what I know. And I keep telling my people, let us have hopes. God will bless us. That road will be constructed.
Thank you very much, Honorable NJUME Peter AMBANG, for making out time for this conversation with us. And that's it for this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast over Equinoxe Television. We are Equinoxe Television. We are independent. We are fearless. We are credible. Thanks for trusting us. That's it for today. Do stay with us if you can. Goodbye.